Hey, man, we're here at Gridiron Football Media Day. Man, I'm here with Coach Hillman from Bunkie High School, and we're here to talk about the upcoming season, things that he saw from last year, and some of the things that he's going to be building on, and some of the expectations that he has moving forward. Coach, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Coach. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man, glad to have you, man. Coach, man, tell us about some of the things y'all been doing this summer in preparation, and some of the things y'all been working on to get ready for the 2024 year.
Yeah, look, we've had a great summer. 4 days a week, those guys are up there early in the morning, lifting, running. Towards the end of July now, we've started to get into some of our installs, some of our drill work, as we prepare for fall camp. We've had a great summer. We've got 72 guys that are, very consistent. We've got, 41 of them right now that are still perfect. Made every single workout all summer long. So we've got a good group. A lot of guys returning, a good nucleus, a good group of leaders in our senior class. A couple of them here today, and summer's been really well. Hopefully we'll roll it into camp.
Yes, indeed. Tell us about the spring. I know you guys played Kaplan.
Yes, sir.
In the spring. Tell us how that went, and if you had a chance to see some of your young guys that was able to participate in the spring, or some of the guys that you had last year that's going to be stepping into new roles.
Yes, sir. Yeah, look, great scrimmage. This is our second year now scrimmaging Kaplan. Coach Tank Latif, legendary coach, back at Kaplan now this year, so I was really excited to scrimmage them, because they're known for being a very physical team. And look, that's a big part of the game for us is being controlling the line of scrimmage, being physical on defense. Great scrimmage with them, very competitive. We got a chance to go 1s, 2s, and 3s. And of course, with us being 7th through 12th, we're able to get our 8th graders that are on campus involved in the springtime, and get a chance to look at our freshman class then against some high school kids. And I thought we did really well. Came out of it healthy and showed some good things offensively, defensively. Of course, some things that that we're going to need to work on, but we're excited. We feel like we're at a good spot going into the season.
Good deal, man. You guys had a great year last year.
Yes, sir.
Pretty much with a great start. I think what 7-0.
7-0.
7-0 started off.
Yes, sir.
One of the best starts they've had in a long time over there at Bunkie.
Yes, sir.
Talk about some of the things that you've done as a coach. I guess coaching philosophy-wise to basically keep them grounded, and be able to use that as morale and motivation coming into this 24 year.
Yeah, well, look, our theme for the year has been raise the bar. We've been talking about that every day. Coming off the year that we had, 9-2 season, best season that Bunkie's had in 20 years, but we're not satisfied with that. And the good thing is we've got 16 starters returning. Okay. We had a very poor outing against Episcopal out of Baton Rouge to end our season, and we didn't end our season the way that we wanted to. Those guys still remember that. They remember that feeling on a cold night, not performing in the playoffs like we wanted to, and I think that's really fueled us throughout our summer and going into this season. That we want to finish, we want to raise the bar on where we're at right now, and show people around the state it wasn't a fluke, right. It wasn't a one-time thing. We're here to stay.
Yeah. Talking about the playoffs, I'm gonna bring it up just a smidge. I know we're talking about 24, but tell us about that. I know y'all had that off week, and I know sometimes you see that on all levels. You see it on college, you see it in the NFL. Guys, teams that's hot, that's rolling, then they get that off week, and a team that you probably on paper should beat, but they had a game prior and they was already ready to roll. So if y'all plan on having that good year this year again, you might be in that same kind of seat. Being able to have that off week. Is there some things that you learned from that you picked up that you'll probably take into this next season?
Absolutely. Look, we had what I thought at the time was a good bye week. We took one extra day rest. We got 3 practices in that week. We focused on some things ourselves, but it got us off our rhythm a little bit. It did. Not having a game that Friday. We were able to go Friday, take a big group of kids, go down and watch the game, watch our 2 opponents on who we were going to play. But obviously, it definitely got us off our rhythm a little bit. We came back that next week, and we kind of had some. Weather got cold, so we had a little bit of sickness kind of moving around. We had some guys that were, myself included, I missed a day of practice that week, sick, and as well as some other guys. And so we didn't start the way that we wanted to in that game. And of course in the playoffs, the possessions get tighter, there's less plays. It's more important, every single possession. So, we find ourselves down 10-0, at the end of the first quarter, just weren't able to come back. And look, Episcopal was a great team. They had a great season. Braden George was a heck of a player. And if we play them again, I'll be glad that I don't have to see him again for sure.
Right. He'll be a neighbor.
Yeah, they did really well though.
Yeah. So moving forward, man, you talked about the seniors that you got coming back. Tell about some of those key players and about how those guys have been leaders this summer and things that they have that's on their bucket list of getting to.
Of course, yeah. Well, I got two great ones with me today: Dylan Compton and J.D. Smith. Both were team captains for us last year as juniors. Dylan's a phenomenal athlete for us. JD leads our offensive and defensive lines. Of course, we got Kyle Johnson, who's not here today. He's at driver's ed this morning. So he's
getting ready to drive to Houston.
Getting ready to drive to Houston, yeah. So of course, he recently committed to Houston, and he's a big component of what we do on both sides of the ball. But like the main thing with this group of seniors and some key juniors that we have is how competitive they are. How competitive those guys are. We've had a really competitive summer, in the weight room, on the grass, in conditioning. Those guys are active, and like I said, they really have a bad taste in their mouth from the way the season ended. And we know we're not going to win every game, and at the end of the year, only one team's going to be truly happy that they host that trophy up. But for us, it's about controlling what we can control, right? And we want to beat every team that we're better than and that we're more prepared than, and we don't feel like we did that last year. So we want to handle ourselves in-house and make sure that we're prepared, we're ready to roll for the game and handle business. So those guys they're hungry to come back this year and show everybody, like I said, this was not a one-and-done thing. We're here to stay.
And again, man, you mentioned Dylan Compton, mentioned J.D. Smith, Kyle Johnson, man, those are some big-time guys. You're coming back that had a lot of impact on that team last year.
Absolutely.
Especially with Dylan Compton being able to run and throw the ball as well as he did. Is there any more packages that you're able to put in with an older group right now, or just kind of keep it the same on what you're going to do?
Defensively, we've got so many key guys defensively that are returning. To stay in our same defense, add into some more wrinkles, be able to do some more things earlier than what we were last year because we're so comfortable in it right now. A few key guys offensively we've got to replace. We've kind of played around with some personnel this spring. As we get into camp, we'll kind of settle into what's really going to be our base. But overall, we're miles ahead right now than where we were this time last year, just with all that strong leadership back. And really in all of our position groups. All of our position groups right now have strong upperclassmen leaders who have done it, who have been on the field, who have played big minutes, been in big situations. Of course, the playoffs, our game with Gina, two of the biggest games I've ever been a part of for sure as a head coach. So having that leadership in those groups is really accelerating the process right now. Hoping to start the season off fast.
Right. Moving on. Anytime you have great programs, great stuff, man, you always have some that great support that's in the background. Tell us about some of your administration, maybe or some of your community leaders, or how that community kind of rally around you guys.
We have a phenomenal principal, Mr. Chuck Norman, Coach Chuck Norman. He was an all-state linebacker at Bunkie.
Okay.
Had a little stint.
That always helps.
Had a little stint at UL. Came back, coached at Bunkie. Was an offensive coordinator at Bunkie. He's a coach. Everybody calls him Coach Chuck. He knows the process. He's a big-time football guy. Obviously now, he's an academic. He's on that side in administration, but he's on the sideline for every game. He travels to every game with us on the road. Big football supporter. And then the community is just so behind this team, so behind this school. Small rural town, a 3A size school. We got right at 450 kids in high school, and it's when we were rolling, when we were that 7-0 game, us and Gina in week 8. I think the whole city of Bunkie closed down around 12 o'clock, and everything was at the game. So the community's really behind us. We've got some great sponsors and supporters, local businesses that really pour back into the program, and that's what it's about. I mean, you've got to have great players to be successful on a field any given season, right? But you've got to have great community, great administration to have a program last and be built, and that's what we have. That's what we've been having, and right now it's just the perfect storm of having some really talented players in a great community with great administration and a great coaching staff that we have. That's kind of got us in the position that we're in right now.
Coach, man, we look forward to seeing you guys. Who you guys have big that's pretty much circled? I know you said every game.
Look, every game's a big one, but
any of them circled on the schedule that we definitely need to mark in and ink in that you guys kind of looking forward to? I know we don't want to look forward past nobody.
That's right. Look, in district, we're excited for the opportunity to play Gina again.
Okay.
We felt like we should have been the district champions last year, and they came to our field and took it from us. You know, so and of course they went 10-0 on their way to the semis. We're really excited to play them. That's gonna be a big game. Of course, Marksville for the Cascade game. You know, I used to coach at Marksville, so there's a little bit of personal rivalry there as well.
Yep.
But we are very excited. We've got 3 new teams on our non-district schedule. Week 2, we'll go to St. Louis and we'll play them, and then in week 4, Central Catholic out of Morgan City will come up to us. 2 really good private schools, great programs. I met St. Louis's coach, their new coach, yesterday at the coaching clinic, and we had a good talk, and they're going to have a good team. So we're excited about those non-district opponents right there, and then hopefully, you know, we're playing our best ball by the end of the year.
Good deal, but man, over at Gridiron, we're gonna definitely have y'all on our radar.
Yes.
Circle those 2 games too as well, and making sure that we locked in, because it sounds like they're gonna be district championship games.
And the good thing at week 2, St. Louis, it's a Thursday game. So we'll be a Thursday game. It'll be one of the only ones in the state, so we might get to catch some extra eyes there. But no, we're really, really excited about it.
Okay, man. If there's anything else you want to say to the Bunkie family or to anybody, make an ass announcements here.
Hey, my wife, she's got 3 kids at home right now, so I could be here this morning, so I couldn't do it without her. But to the fans, you know, everybody, you know, we're excited about another great year. Season tickets will be on sale soon. Come out and see us this fall.
Well, my man, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Coming in, man. Coach Hillman, Bunkie High School. Stay locked in.